Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 300, Rangers at Royals. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 Carryover League. We got another divisional round, cross-division battle between the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. Two teams that finished last a year ago in their division that have made improvements in the offseason and been playing really good baseball this year. Let's just go right into what's happened because we want to save some time here. Game one of a best-of-5 opening up in Texas. Kansas City sends Larry Gurra out there against Bill Hands for the Rangers. In this one, top of the second inning, you get an RBI double by Ed Kirkpatrick, 1-0. Bottom of the inning, Texas responds. Tom Grieve, 2-run homer. It is 2-1. And Larry Gurra and Bill Hands are doing an excellent job out there. Into the bottom of the seventh. Couple singles after a couple outs. Dave Nelson, RBI single, makes it 3-1, chasing Gurra. He went 6 2/3, 8 hits, 3 runs allowed. But Bill Hands got relief help in the eighth when he needed it. After an out, a double and a single put runners in the corners with 1 out. Paul Lindblad came in to face John Mayberry, got the pitcher's best friend, a 6-4-3 double play. Steve Foucault came on into the ninth, 3 up and 3 down, and the Texas Rangers, complete effort, timely power, good defense, good relief pitching, solid baseball club. They beat the Royals 3-1. So now let's show you what happens in game two. First, before we show you that, I need to comment that the Texas Rangers are the only franchise in our league that doesn't have a guy who can pitch on 3 days rest. Matter of fact, I can show you this. And that this is the schedule for all the teams. These are the starting pitchers and the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Reds indicate a person who can pitch on 3 days rest. And right here with Texas, nothing. Nobody can. Sometimes the aces can't pitch on 3 days rest, but other pitchers can. So that's why we made that distinction here. Just Texas. So that means it's Bibby, Mike Paul, Steve Pernowski, Bill Hands. And on that 5th day, making his major league debut, the number 5 starter swingman is David Clyde. And this is his first ever start in Strat-O-Matic. And before we even show you what happened, I got a special surprise for you folks. I went back to 1973. Here it is, Minnesota Twins versus Texas Rangers. This is David Clyde's major league debut, 18-year-old kid, right out of high school. It's June 27th, 1973, almost 51 years to the date. And look at this, 35,000 people packed Arlington Stadium to see the kid pitch. Just 3 or 4 weeks past graduation, or whatever it was. Versus the Twins. Here's the line. He went 5 innings. He gave up just 1 hit. That was a home run with a man on base via a walk. The control was terrible, 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. But David Clyde got a save by Gogolewski, who ironically is in Kansas City's bullpen for this series. David Clyde beats Jim Cott and the Twins. So what happens in game two? It's Marty Patton for the Royals, David Clyde. So in the second inning, Clyde walks a batter, gives up a single. Fielder's choice scores a run. But then a big play here. Cookie Rojas flies into center field, and John Mayberry gets gunned down at the plate. So that 8-8-2 double play helped Mr. Clyde there. Then in the 4th inning, it's a double single, and it's 2-0 off of Clyde. But in the bottom half of the inning, you have a Lenny Randall double, and Jeff Burrows hits a 2-run homer. The game is tied at 2. David Clyde in the 5th gave up a single, but the guy got caught stealing his full 5 innings at this time. He goes 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 Ks, and turned it over to Wayne Granger. Could Granger shut down the Royals in this one? And no, they couldn't quite do it. You get a single by Kirkpatrick in the 7th, a single by Amos Otis, a timely Freddie Patek bunt. Don't normally bunt on the road to tie, but you had 2 runners on. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Who else? George Brett, 2-run single. And Kansas City takes a 4-3 lead. Marty Patton goes for the complete game, and he gets it. As the Ranger bats go cold, 9 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs. The same score, different result. Instead of David Clyde winning 4-3, in this instance, it's a no decision for Clyde, but his team loses 4-3. So a little bit of serendipity there. Let's go to game number 3. All tied up as we go to game 3. In Kansas City, it's Jim Bibby for the Rangers, Paul Splittor for the Kansas City Royals. Where have the Texas bats gone? They only scored 2 runs in this game. And if you've been following the Rangers all year long, doesn't matter any of the games I've broadcasted this year, there's been one constant. Is that Toby Harrah, the shortstop, does not know how to field ground balls. He's been beyond horrible, pathetic, disgusting defensively at shortstop. I have no idea why. Toby's defense is 3E32, but if I had to re-rate him, I'd rate him at like a 6E63 at short, if there was such a thing. Bottom of the 1st, with the runners in the corners, he gets up a single on a run. 2nd inning, another error for Harrah. Runners on base in the 3rd, single off of Harrah's glove there. So that's 4 runs. And the Royals win 5-2. Unbelievable lapses by Toby Harrah. We're talking short X, double digit. How many games has Texas played? Let's look at the standings. We got the Rangers. Here it is. He's given up over 20 hits and errors this year, easily in 20 games. So not even close. He hasn't been close to playing a game flawlessly at short. I don't know why. It's just horrible luck. It means that next year he should be like a 1E0 at short to make up for it. You know what I mean? Like to balance everything out. These are the current standings. The Rangers are 11-9, losing 2 out of 3 thus far. 3 games behind the big bad Oakland A's. Them Kansas City Royals, boy, they're making it really tough in the Midwest, which ironically is the best division in the American League, mostly because the East and North has been awful. So the White Sox have some work to do to catch the Royals at the top of the division. Oakland's looking like the number 1 seed. We got a game 4 in Kansas City. They would love to win this series 3-1 so they could control their destiny for first place when they meet the Milwaukee Brewers in the final series they play before the All-Star break, while the White Sox would be playing the Minnesota Twins. Anyway, Rangers, Royals today, the pitching matchups. Texas will send Mike Paul out there. 1972 Texas Ranger pitcher, 162 innings, a 217 earned run average. Really good card for him. His best year in his career. But he's dealing against, this guy gets a lot of play on YouTube, folks. You've probably, if it's Kansas City, you've probably seen this guy. You know where I'm going with this. Yep, Prince Roger Nelson. You saw Splittorf, you saw Patton, you saw Gura. You knew Nelson was coming sooner or later. Here it is. Roger Nelson, 72, 11-6. A 2.08 ERA in 173 innings. Oddly enough, these two pitchers' ERAs are just .09 percentage points apart. Paul's a starter 7. Nelson's a starter 9. Oh, big game with, big important result here. Rangers still believe they have a chance of getting in the playoffs as a wild card, and Royals don't want to fall into that trap and lose ground to the charging White Sox in their division. So, Mike Paul, Roger Nelson, from the Fountains in Kansas City. Let's get started. Leading off, it's Toby Harrah. 2-7 is a base hit. Nothing wrong with Toby's bat. He's having a heck of a year in the batter's box. Doing a great job. Base hit for him. He's an ace stealer. And I'm taking off. I need to get some magic here for the Rangers. And he steals and rolls the 3. And what's the Fran Healy E rating? It's T rating. It's a 1-11. So he doesn't get that. We got a stolen base. Got a man at second for Len Randall. Got to manufacture runs against Nelson. 58. Flies to right. Some AA stealers, I'll steal third with 1 out. But Toby's a single A. And the catcher's got a -1 arm, so I will not. Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay. 58, flies to right. And with 2 outs, it's Burrows. 2-8 is a strikeout. Bottom of the first. It's Freddie Patek Philippe. What time is it, Freddie? He strikes out. Cookie Rojas, 69, skies to right. And with 2 outs, it's George Brett. 3-11. Bouncer to second. Top of 2. Mike Epstein, 65. Homer, 1-2 off of Nelson's a 2-bagger. Joe LaHood, 54. Center X. This is Amos Otis. Forget it. You got no shot. 26 in center field. Makes the grab. Dave Half Nelson when he hits a double. 37's a K. When he hits a dinger, it's Dave Full Nelson, of course. And with 2 outs, it's Dave Rader. 36. Bouncer to short. Bottom of 2. Amos Otis. 54 pops to first. John Mayberry. 1-6. Let's take a look at John. Big Bad John Mayberry. At the bottom of that mine is a big, big man. Big John Mayberry. A 298 average with 25 dingers and 72. Didn't get much of a shot in Houston. They dealt him, and he blossomed in Kansas City. Everyday first baseman. No problem whatsoever with left-handed pitching. Matter of fact, he prefers it. 1-6. That is gone. Royals lead 1-0. 21 outs away from winning the series in 4. Bob Oliver, 54, pops to first. And Lou Piniella, 68, skies the center. Top of the third. Rangers got to get the sticks going. The pitching's been pretty good. Bats have been... They were hitting .312 as a team coming into this series. That's how great a year the Rangers have had. Boots Day, 410, third X. This is Brett. He's only a 1E25, makes the play. Toby Harrah, 36. That'll be a walk. 1 out walk. It's Len Randall. 35, single 1 of 13. He gets it. 2 on. 1 out. Mike Hargrove. 64 off of Roger Nelson. This is gone. It's a homer if you got power, and Hargrove has it. So there is the flaw on the Nelson card. Let me check the dingers here. 173 innings. He gave up 13 home runs, that's not that many. I mean, that's okay. But it's automatic if you're left-handed. So that's how you got to beat Roger Nelson. Get the home run with men on base. That's exactly what the Texas Rangers have just done. 3-1. Mike Hargrove. Hargrove had all of 4 in 460 at-bats, and they gave him power. Homer 1 double on his own card. Really weird. Tough break for the Royals. 3-1 Rangers. 1 out, Jeff Burrows. 2-8 strikes out, and Mike Epstein. 64 again off the Nelson card is gone, and the Rangers lead 4-1. Joe LaHood, 1-3. Let's take a look at Joe LaHood as the Rangers go homer happy here in the third. LaHood was a Brewer, was also a Red Sox. I think he was a Ranger. Nice year in 72. Has a better year, I think, in 73 or 74. But in 72, 12 dingers, 316 at-bats, a 237 average. But it looks better than that. At least he's got a nice-looking card for that low of a batting average. 1-3, no mistake. That is gone. And we get a 5-1 game, and my goodness. Prince Roger Nelson, he's partying like it's 1999 and not paying attention to the strike zone, apparently. So, Dave Nelson, 1-4, bounces to short. 5-1 Rangers, they need to hold on to this to force a Game 5 back in Arlington. Bottom of the third, Fran freaking Healy, 32, bouncer to short. Al Cowens, 65, skies the center. And Fred Patek Philippe Vacheron, 68, skies to center field. We go to the fourth. It's Dave Rader. 37's a base hit. Boots Day. These boots are made for grounding into double plays to George Brett. 1E25. That's a 5-4-3 double play. What an incredible Hall of Famer, George Brett. So here he is in 75. He's a 1 third baseman. It's the only time he'll be a 1. He's not going to be a 1 anymore. But he'll win the batting title next year in 76. So that makes up for it, right? Trade in that oneness for a batting championship. Toby Harrah, trying to reach for a third straight time. 57 is a K. Bottom of the fourth, still 5-1. Cookie Rojas, 65, center. George Brett, 49, is a walk. Amos Otis, 36, is single dot. 2 on, 1 out. Royals get something going here. Big bad John Mayberry strikes out this time. And with 2 outs, it's Bob Oliver. 1-8, let's take a look at Bob Oliver's card. Jack of all trades. Could play first, could play third in the outfield. Played with the Royals, played with the Angels. Good card here. 72. 20 dingers in 600 plate appearances with a 269 average. Is actually in the platoon at DH. Almost traded in the offseason. 1-8. That's gone. That's a 3-run dinger. We got a 5-4 game. 2 outs. It's Lou Piniella. 59, rolls a second. Well, both very talented starting pitchers. Their ERAs balloon when you surrender 3-run homers. So we've seen that. Take the 3-run homers away. We have a 2-1 game. Top of the fifth. It's Lenny Randall. 44, short X. This is Patek Philippe 2 at short. E27 makes the play. Hargrove, 1-7, double 1, base hit. Jeff Burrows, 47's a K. And with 2 outs, Mike Epstein, 62. Left. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, it'll be Fran Healy leading off. 45, double 1 of 14, gets it. Tie run scoring position for Al Cowens. 5'10 catcher's X. 2E14. Both catchers have high E ratings. You get a foul out, though. No pass ball, no wild pitch. So that was a wasted opportunity. Guys stuck at second base for Fred Patek. 212, center B plus injury. Freddie tweaks a hammy, running down the line. He will leave the game. And there's 2 outs. Jack Heidemann will take over defensively in the top half of the next inning. And with a runner at second and 2 outs, it's Cookie Rojas. 47 off Paul's a base hit in her right field. Healy, a 10 runner. 11-12 off the zero arm Burrows. See, scores on a 1. We got a tie game. Kansas City comes back from 5-1. They mean business, folks. I mean, these are almost the Royals we know and love from 76 on. Winners of the West. They don't have Dennis Leonard yet. They don't have... Well, Al Cowens is a bench player presently. They don't have UL Washington yet, I guess. Yeah, there's still some pieces missing here for those great Royal teams that win the West in the latter part of the decade. But they've arrived. They've arrived, folks. Rojas, a B stealer. You know what? He's going to take off. Stealing off 15. He is caught stealing. Well, gets caught stealing. Tried to get in a scoring position. Didn't work out. But we got the tie game 5-5. Into the top of the 6th we go. Joe LaHood. Rangers need another home run spree. Hate to lose a game where you have 3 dingers. That's not a good look. So they have to come back again. Joe LaHood, 311. Pops to second. Dave Nelson, 54, pops to first. Dave Rader, 2-3, pops too short. Prince Rogers doing a nice job here. Into the bottom of the 6th. It's George Brett. 43 off Paul, first X. It's Hargrove. He's a 2-18 at first base. It's a base hit. Now Brett's is just a C stealer now. Eventually he'll be a B or maybe even an A a little later. C stealer will stay put for Amos Otis. 48, single 1 to 6. Gets it on a 4. 2 on, nobody out. The lefty, John Mayberry, homered earlier. 1-5. Before we can even get it out, should we go to the bullpen? John Mayberry jacks the second 3-run homer of the day for Kansas City. His second home run. Oliver had the other 3-run homer. And just like that, the Kansas City Royals have an 8-5 lead. And the Rangers are suffering from, well, roster deficiencies, frankly. Like I say, not a lot of depth in the pitching staff. And when the offense goes cold, it goes cold. We'll pull Mike Paul after 5 and 3 batters. Get a right-hander in there. We're going to go Wayne Granger. Granger will come in for the Rangers. Ranger, you like that? He was a Twin in 72. I think he was part of the Tom Hall trade. Does that make sense? Maybe he wasn't. Tom Hall was a Twin, then went to the Reds. Wayne Granger was a Red, went to the Twins. I'm assuming that happened. 4 and 6 with an ERA of 3 in 90 innings for Wayne Granger in the American League. And here he is in the 6th inning, trying to keep this thing close. He'll face Bob Oliver. 1-7 is a K. Lou Piniella, 2-4 short. Fran Healy, 66. Triple 1 and 2, base hit. And with 2 outs, Al Callen, 67, is a K. 8-5 game in the 7th. Plenty of, one really bad inning. Normally, that's a Roger Nelson start. You got 1 crack to get him. And if you don't score a lot in that 1 crack, he's going to put goose eggs up there, folks. That's what he's doing. Top of the 7th. These boots are made for walking. And he does. He walks immediately on a 6-9. He heard my song and obliged. It'll be Toby Harrah. He's been on 2 out of 3 times today. 46 is a K. Len Randall, 211. Pops to second. With 2 outs, it's Hargrove. 59 rolls harmlessly to second base to end the inning. 8-5 Royals. Bottom of the 7th inning. It is stretch time here in Kansas City. This is a new musical selection for you folks. Had to do it. Jailbreak. Thin Lizzy. Phil Lynott. Had to have it. A little bit out of the timeline. Doesn't matter. Jailbreak is Jailbreak. Matter of fact, this deluxe edition has a remix of Boys Are Back in Town with the hi-hats pumped. Check this out. You just heard the studio version. Listen to this remix. I'll turn it up a little bit for you guys. Those hi-hats are sizzling, folks. Bottom of the 7th for Kansas City. Wayne Granger continues. It's Jack Heidemann. 36, base hit. Rojas. 58, pops to short. Brett. 2-7, fielder's choice. Amos Otis, 35 walks. Mayberry, 2-5, single to center field. Brett runs, and he's thrown out the plate on a 19. Well, well, well. Rally music. Thin Lizzy. Boys are back in town. Just got to turn them back down a little bit for you there. Copyright monsters will eat up this video otherwise. All right, 8-5. Into the 8th inning we go. Big play at the plate. Throwing out George Brett to keep this within 3 runs. Nice play by Boots Day, the center fielder. Roger Nelson could care less. He's just going to get the last 6 outs is what his intentions are. Before he goes out to pitch the 8th, the Royals are going to make one more change. They're going to stick Jim Washer-Dwyer into the defense. Stick him in left field. He's much better than Lou Piniella. Actually, yeah, Lou Piniella, yeah. Cowan's in right. Yeah, Patek at short. Oh, Patek got hurt. Heidemann at short. Top of the 8th, 8-5. Rangers need a rally, or their playoff hopes are going to be in trouble. Certainly the division title hopes are probably gone, but yeah. Jeff Burrows will lead it off. 49, Sky's the center. Mike Epstein, 3-6. Let's take a look at the fun Mike Epstein card. Man, I'm going to hate retiring this card. I really am, folks. I've had a lot of fun with Mike Epstein cards over the years. Always delivers the homers, the walks, the fun times for the Washington Senators, now the Texas Rangers. Got a World Series ring with the Oakland A's in 72. People forget 26 dingers, folks. And the second highest average on the club, Mike Epstein. He was the dude. We know about Reggie. We know Bando. We know Campaneris. We know Joe Rudy. We know all those guys. Mike Epstein, 1972 Oakland A's. Offense went through this dude. Also, this 270 batting average was the second highest average on the team behind Joe Rudy's. Think about that. That team won the World Series with a 270 hitter as the second best hitter. That's how dead ball the 72 season was. Not here, though. 3-6. That's a solo shot. And the Rangers are back into this thing 8-6. There is some noise, racket in the Kansas City bullpen. They got former Ranger Bill Gogolewski, Joe Horner, and Doug Bird all warming up at the same time. They got to be careful out there. There's not enough room. Be throwing 3 baseballs around simultaneously. Joe LaHood steps into the box for the Rangers. 65 off Nelson. Homer 1-2 double. Doesn't get it, but the tying run's going to step into the box. And it's Dave Nelson. What do you do here if you're Kansas City? Here's an interesting predicament. You have Roger Nelson as a starter 9, which means he probably will always pitch 9 innings all the time. That was by design, building this roster, because he's a starter 9, making sure you use the bullpen for the other dudes. But Marty Patton threw a complete game, and Splittorff pitched 8 innings his last time out. So you got this bullpen, rotting on the vine, not being used. You don't want Nelson to lose this game, so if he puts a tying runner on base, it'll be the hook, regardless of his breaking inning. So LaHood's at second. The tie run steps into the box. It's Dave Nelson. 66 off of Roger's card. The other Nelson, Roger Nelson, Dave Nelson. Single 1018. That is it, and that's the day. So Nelson, Roger, finally doesn't make it into the 9th inning this year. He's gone after 7 1/3. Oh boy. Yeah, let's go Joe Horner just to get some left-handed batters out of the game, maybe? Maybe? I don't know if there will. Joe Horner's going to come on in. Horner was with the Phillies as a closer a year ago. They let him go. Atlanta was his next destination in 72. 1-5 with a 4.40 ERA. We had Kansas City picked him up because, frankly, there wasn't anybody better. They got the short end of the stick when they built this roster in Kansas City. They did not prioritize left-handed relief help. And from situations exactly like this. So, can Kansas City survive this 8-6 game? You got runners on the corners with 1 out. Playing it back. Dave Rader will exit. And Boots Day will probably exit behind him. You've got Grieve and Frank Howard on the bench. I think we'll do Howard. Frank Howard will be the pinch hitter. Let's take a look at Frank Howard's card. Frank, he was a Tiger by 72. Gosh, man, could you imagine if he was from the Tigers in his prime with Norm Cash and, oh my, whatever. Yeah, anyway, he's with the Tigers in 72. 244, 10 homers, loads up against lefties as expected. You got runners on the corners, 1 out. They're looking for a double play ball. The Rangers are looking for a 3-run bomb. Here's the pitch to the big guy, Frank Howard. 57 is a single to right field. 1 run will score. Dave Nelson could go coast to coast with 1 out. You have to do it, even if Cowens can throw, and he can. Cowens got a -2 arm, but Nelson's a 17 runner. It's a 15. I'm going coast to coast with 1 out. And I'm thrown out on a 17. Oh my goodness. What a play by Al Cowens. Frankly, this is one of Al Cowens' early years, so his arm's not that good yet. It's only a -2. Eventually he'll have a -4 arm. But the tie run gets thrown out at third base, trying to get over there with 1 out. And he can't get in there, so Howard gets an RBI single to make it 8-7. Nelson thrown out at third. Howard's the runner at first. We could get him out of there. Get a new base runner in there. Dick Billings is a better running catcher. He'll take over as the base runner. Boots Day will be pinch hit for since Horner's still there. Pitching. It'll be Tom Grieve. We'll look at Tom Grieve's card first, and then we'll make a pitching change. Here's Tom Grieve, the pinch hitter. My goodness, 1973, 309, 7 homers, and 123 at-bats. Absolutely crushes lefties. Arguably his best card ever. That'll be enough for Joe Horner. They'll go to Doug Bird to see if he can get a 4-out save. Big throw by Amos Otis in the top. Man, that was amazing. Doug Bird coming in for the Royals. 73, 4-4 with a 2.99 ERA in 102 innings. This Royal bullpen's really thin once you get past Bird. 8th inning. And he will face Tom Grieve, the last batter on the bench for this team. He'll actually have to play center. Billings will catch. And Epstein stays in the DH. LaHood will have to stay in left field. Here's the pitch to Tom Grieve. 66 off of Bird is a strikeout, and that's the end of the inning. 8-7 Royals. Granger's gone a couple innings. We're going to turn this over to Paul Lindblad, the setup man. Lindblad was with Oakland in 74 with a 2.05 ERA in 101 innings. Give that man a World Series ring. We're just giving them away today, folks. We gave Mike Epstein one. We're giving Paul Lindblad one. Anybody who has a connection to Oakland that's playing in the game, you got yourself a World Series ring. Heck of a season for Lindblad. Coming on in the bottom of the 8th to keep this a 1-run affair if possible. It'll be Blob Oliver leading off. 2-9, grounds to short. Jim Washer-Dwyer in there for Piniella. 37's a K. And with 2 outs, it's Fran freaking Healy. 45 off Lindblad, double 1 to 10 is a base hit. And it's Al Cowens. 4-4 off of Lindblad. Homer 1, double the rest. Double the rest. Healy's thinking about it. He's a 10, 11, 12. You got Grieve, 0 arm in center field. And he scores. And all you had to do was flip the running results. Remember Dave Nelson was a 17 runner? And Fran Healy is a 10 runner? Just flip them, folks. We're going to tie a game, but that's not how it worked out. Just it's the way she goes. As Ricky's dad, Ray, would say. TPB. It's the way she goes. 9-7. Back up top, runner at second base. It's Jack Heidemann. 1-4 flies to left. Doug Bird got an insurance run on some fortuitous base running. 9-7 affair in the ninth. Boy, Texas really needs a jolt here. Top of the lineup, it'll be Toby Harrah. 1-7, Toby delivers, double 1 at 12, base hit. He'll go down to second base without a throw, as they're not going to hold him on and have a ball rocket through the infield. So Harris at second, and it'll be Len Randall. 1-9, bouncer to second base. Now you got Harris at third with 1 out. And human rain delay, Mike Hargrove. 53, roller to first C. Run will score. Doesn't really matter. It's 9-8. But now there's 2 outs and no one on. And you got Burrows. Let's take a look at Jeff Burrows. He's not had a good day today, folks. A K, and a fly ball to center. We had an option in this year to go from a 73 card to his MVP card in 74. But you know what? I like this 73 card. First of all, he's got 30 bombs. And yeah, he's got 30 bombs. And that's why I like this card. He's got 30 bombs. Now in 74, he gets 300. His defense is a little bit better. But he only has like 20-something bombs. And is the MVP for Billy Martin's Texas Rangers. But anyway, give me this Burrows card. And this is a big moment here for the Ranger franchise here. In a 9-8 game with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Jeff Burrows. 2-6 is a base hit in the right field, and the Rangers are still alive. And now you got the dangerous Mike Epstein. What a day he's had. A solo homer there, a solo homer there, and a double. 3 for 4 Mike Epstein. There's a mound visit. Bird's not going anywhere. Their bullpen's terrible. They have to lean on Doug Bird for 4 and 5 out saves whenever possible. So Mike Epstein looking for another extra base hit to tie this thing up or give him a lead. Here's the pitch to Mike Epstein. 49 off Bird as a walk. He is a relief 3. That doesn't hit his point of weakness. And with 2 outs, it's Joe LaHood. We saw his card earlier. He rolled a homer on 1-3. He also has a single in this game. Chance to be a hero in the folklore of the Texas Rangers. Joe LaHood. 2 on. 2 outs. The pitch to Joe LaHood. 34. 1-4 is a 3-run homer. 34 is a strikeout. What a day. What a game. Tough, brutal loss for the Rangers. They hustled it in the last few innings, but they also gave up a run in the bottom half on some great base running by Kansas City. 4-out save for Doug Bird, and we'll take this right to the post game. Sad, sad loss for the Rangers. They lose this series 3-1. That's a shame. We really like this Texas club. Doug Bird, give him his props. He got a save. Wasn't pretty. Let's see, faced Grieve. Struck him out to end that inning. And then, or did he give up the single? Yeah, Horner faced Frank Howard. He gave up the single, and the guy got thrown out the plate. And he struck out. And Bird came in to strike out Grieve. So 2 hits, a run, a walk, and 2 Ks. Joe Horner just came in and faced Frank Howard. Gave up a single. And got a guy out. Oh, the guy he got out was the guy who got thrown out the plate. That's ridiculous, but that's the truth. All right, Nelson survived enough to get the win. Gave up 11 hits, 7 runs. The big 5-run inning here, the homer, inherited runner that the bullpen let in. Worst outing of the year for Roger Nelson, and he wins. That's what you got to do in a sport. You can't expect it to be wine and roses. You have to win ugly sometimes. Lindblad, he got to nail down that inning. He didn't do it. 2 hits, a run, and a K. That's not good. Not good enough. Granger came on after the 3-run homer and settled it down. A hit and 2 Ks. 3 hits, a walk, and 2 Ks. Mike Paul, not a good day. He takes a loss. 8 hits, 8 runs. Those home runs. Kansas City, not a big 3-run homer club, but they were today. 3, 3, 1, and 1. 8 runs, all earned. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. 1019, 0108, 913, 814, 3825. Texas put 17 men on base, and Kansas City put 15 men on base, but the Royals win. It's the way she goes. Roger Nelson gets the win, Bird gets the save, Mike Paul gets the loss. And now we'll take a look at the standings. After 300 games, this was game 300, folks. 300 games in the books. If you're wondering how many games we play, by the Game 7 of the World Series, we're looking at somewhere between 650, 660, somewhere in there. Sometimes, right around there. So we're almost halfway through a complete season in 2024, which won't wrap up until October, of course. Almost halfway. 15-9 is Kansas City. That is tough. Tough-minded baseball club. They also have the tiebreaker against the White Sox. They're hitting .294. They have a .337 team ERA. That's really impressive. Marty Patton's 4-1. Splittorff is 4-2. Those are bonuses. We knew about Roger Nelson, this one outlier year he has. 5-1, 4 complete games for Nelson. Doug Bird's got 5 saves, 2 losses, and 5 saves. Power, you got Amos Otis with 7 dingers, 23 RBI. Mayberry has 26 RBI, and you're wondering about George Brett. George is 39 for 105. It's like that 390 season he had in 1980 plus an 0 for 5. He's hitting 371. Texas Rangers. Now they've got to be careful how they approach the All-Star break. They're just 11-10 now. They got their hat in there with everybody else, but they're still hitting .311 as a club. Their ERA is .395. That is not bad. That's not bad. I thought it would be much worse than that. .395, Texas Rangers, I'll take that. .311 average, and yeah, they're right around game over 500, right where you think they'd be with good statistics like that. Steve Foucault has 6 saves. Lindblad has given up 17 hits in 10 1/3 innings. That's not very good at all. Mike Paul's now 2-2. Homers. You got Burrows. 8 homers and 26 RBIs. How about Mike Epstein? Mike's just got 5 homers. But our league has played 300 games. Like I said, almost 300 of a possible 660 games we've played. The league is hitting .267 with a .408 ERA, .331 on base, .143 whip. And we know the American League only has division left. That's all they have left. And looking at the Interleague is done. The American League is -6 against the National League. The West is a game over 500. Midwest is 4 over. And the East and North is -2 and -9. And the Royals will take a 15-9 record into their final series against the Brewers. The White Sox will take that record against the Twins. As long as the White Sox are in second place, it's fine. That means you get to play the Royals again in the postseason tournament to determine who's in first. And you can still get a division title in the second and third round of the tournament. It's not a wild card. Texas, it was sitting right there for them to make a move. They're just a game over 500. But, Boston's still playing good baseball. By the way, the Red Sox, I didn't broadcast this game, but they took care of the Ohio players 3-1. This expansion team has really had a hard time. 4-16 Ohio, the only expansion team playing poorly. Because remember, these guys are all expansion teams. Even the Florida Marlins aren't that bad. They're 8-11. Of course, Toronto and Seattle are expansion too. They don't even exist until 77. So, anyway, break up the Kansas City Royals. They've just won almost every series they've played this year with 15 victories. And they beat the Texas Rangers 3-1. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.